Well, you know the old saying, opposites attract, right? Well, it's true. And today we're going to talk about why that happens and how you can get along with a significant other who is significantly different from you.
Angel Tucker is an expert personality profiler, international speaker, and best-selling author. She wrote this book. It's called Stop Squatting with Your Spurs On. And she joins us now with more on why opposites attract. It's true, isn't it? Opposites do attract.
Absolutely.
Why?
Hi, Angel.
Why?
Yeah, hi, Angel. Let's get to it.
We're staffing our weaknesses. That's what we're doing. And if you think about it, things that your mate is good at doing, you probably aren't so good at doing. And so that's initially what attracts us, other than obviously the physical appearance, but the way that they're able to do things that we're not. And we think, wow, look at that. You know, I'm not really sociable, but look how great they are with people. Or I'm not really detailed, and look how great they are at that.
Give an example. You're a dominant personality.
Yes.
Your husband is more of
My
a
husband
supportive.
is supportive. Exactly.
Okay, so
exactly.
explain it in your relationship briefly.
Okay, so I'm a D, and so he's an S, and we both have an I. So I'm a DI, and he's an SI. So we have the fun. We both like to have fun in common, but our communication styles are very different. And I'm very multitask, where he's very, let me just get through this one thing, and then you can let me know what else you want me to do, you know, where I get bored very easily. So I need a lot of things going on at one time. And then I like things bottom line. Like when he asks me to do something, just tell me straight out, what do you know, I don't want to know how to build the clock. I just want to know you know how to turn it on.
That I need to do it.
Yeah,
right.
And so, but he's very different. He's taking notes, and he's like, okay, just tell me everything and let me write it down. And even the way that we write notes, for example, if I know I have to clean out the kitchen drawer, I'll just write drawer. Well, he will write clean out kitchen drawer, so whatever item fits it. It's like a whole sentence, right? So there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of differences. And, you know, if we don't understand that, you know, it can cause some problems.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If you're dating somebody who's an opposite, or you're in a relationship and you find out that you do things so differently, how do you end up marrying that person? Because I can imagine, as you said, it could cause a lot of problems in a relationship if you don't accept it and maybe feel comfortable with how different you are.
Yeah. Well, what we tend to do when we're in the dating phase is we kind of have those blinders on, and we kind of think things are cute or kind of quirky, and then it's like after the ring goes on, the blinders come off, right? And so things that, you know, or we think, oh, well, they'll change that, or I can change that about that person. But you need to understand that's the way that they're wired. It's not something that's just, you know, temporary. They've been that way their entire life, and so you're not just going to change them as soon as the ring goes on.
Let's talk about the 4 different personality types, and then how each type of person prefers to communicate. Starting with D, which is the dominant personality.
D stands for dominant, and they are bottom line communicators. When they're telling you something, it's going to be bottom line, and they want to receive the information bottom line.
What does that mean, bottom line?
That means just tell me
Direct.
what I need to know right now to get this particular task done. I don't want to know anything I need to know for tomorrow. Just tell me what I need to know now.
Okay. How about the I?
I's are bottom line communicators, and I stands for inspiring. They're bottom line when receiving information, but if you ask them a question, they will talk for 2 hours, and it probably still doesn't answer the question. Okay.
And I's are these people. I stands for inspiring. This is
yes.
Tiffany's personality and my personality.
Yes.
These are people who are more people-oriented,
Yes.
but tend to not be as detail-oriented.
Yes.
Would you say?
No, it's instead of it about being getting work done, it's about building relationships. It's all about people and interacting with others.
Okay. How about S?
S stands for supportive, and these are what we call A to Z communicators, which means they want to know everything. If they don't need to know it now, they might need to know it later, but they want you to keep it simple and easy to understand. So they don't like a lot of complicated or complex things thrown into the mix.
And supportive people tend to be somewhat people-oriented. They're the helpful ones. They're always trying
the peacemakers, the mediators, yes.
Okay. What about C? This stands for cautious.
It
These are
does.
people who tend to like to evaluate a lot of information. They're analytical. They're very thorough people,
Exactly,
right?
exactly. And they are also A to Z communicators. The difference between them and an S is they want it to be complex. They love breaking down and trying to figure out they know you said this, but what did you really mean by this? And so, you know, that's the difference between the S and the C.
I can totally picture the people who you're talking about in my life. Well, so what if you're an extrovert and you're married to an introvert, or vice versa? How can you actually make the peace? Do you have any tips for, because those are such different personality types, and I've been in relationships where we're very opposite like that.
Are you the introvert or the extrovert?
Yeah, I wonder. I think
Yeah.
She's definitely the introvert.
it's hard for me to leave a party, and people I date always want to leave before I do.
Well, you know what? Then let's just go with that example, because that actually is one that we hear about all the time that causes a lot of conflict, because the extrovert, they want to go to the party and they want to stay until the end and they want to
be the last to leave.
Yes, and so if you're in a relationship with an introvert, you can do one of two things. One, you can agree ahead of time on the time that you're going to leave, and so that they know that when it gets to this time, then we both have already decided ahead of time. But the best thing to do is just drive separately.
I was just going to say
that worked in a relationship I was in.
Yes,
because it's painful to leave early for eyes.
Exactly, exactly. Especially if they're in a conversation and, you know, my husband will be talking to someone, I'll say, okay, it's time to go, and he'll say, okay, see you later. Oh, by the way, and he'll start a whole new conversation.
Right.
You had cut it off. You were good. Why did we start again, right? But if you just drive separately, then that person, you know, and just say, it's okay, I understand. When you're ready to leave, I'm not going to have a problem.
The bottom line here is probably it's okay for opposites to attract. You shouldn't necessarily marry another dominant person.
Oh, no,
and
that's
vice
fireworks
versa.
every day.
That's fireworks. But the key is probably understanding the other person's personality and trying to communicate in the style that you know they prefer.
Exactly.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think everyone needs your book. It's like a handbook for how to get along with everyone in your life. So here's the information for Angel's book. It's called Stop Squatting with Your Spurs On. That's the one for adults, and then there's another one there for kids. You can go to her website, take a personality test, learn all about these books. It's personalityprofiles.org, and right now we're offering a 20% off coupon if you use the promotional code BLEND. Get it for everyone you love. I swear, it's best.
Thanks, Angel.
Then we can all just get along.
Can't we just get along?
We'll be right back.